Toyota Corolla is now in its 12th generation. It's been around 54 years. They've made 46 million of these worldwide. Just think about counting to 46 million or putting those cars end to end. That's a massive amount of vehicles. The best-selling vehicle in the world, absolutely. So let's think about the Corolla and what it means to Toyota. It's a significantly important car for them. Just look at the first one in 1966 versus the new one for 2020. Incredible differences. We've come such a long way in 54 years. Most car buyers who are buying Corolla today weren't even alive when Corolla first came around. But we're not going to judge this car on its history. This is important for Toyota because it's competitive. So think about the things that this goes up against. A very hot new Mazda 3, Kia Forte, Honda Civic. This car has to stand on its own as it is today. So we're going to put it on the road, take a look at the inside and the outside, and judge the new Toyota Corolla. Now let's take a look at the design and the exterior of the brand new Toyota Corolla. I think this is the best looking car in its class by a long way. It's really beautiful. This vehicle has so much going on up at the front, but looks very modern, very sleek, and very, I would say, dynamic when you look at the vehicle. But we've seen this before. There was an indication of what the new Corolla was going to look like when they brought out the Corolla hatchback last year. Thin, narrow headlights with the 3 hockey sticks or the sideways J's up front, LED standard, but up back is where you'll see significant changes on this vehicle from the last generation. Around the trunk it's very complicated. There's a black piece of plastic that marries both tail lights, and there is this spoiler, painted spoiler at the back of the vehicle. The trunk, very complicated. The sides, the rear fenders, very simple, and then reflected at the back is this piece of plastic which looks very similar to the air intake at the front with dual exhaust grills. All right, important under the hood of this vehicle, 2 engine choices, a 1.8 litre that creates 139 horsepower, and then the 2 litre, which creates 169 horsepower. I have to say the 1.8 is a fairly old engine. You can marry it to either a manual or a CVT, but the exciting engine in this vehicle is the 2 litre on the XSE, which is the one that we're driving. This vehicle actually is married to a CVT, but get this. The CVT has paddle shifters and a real first gear. Boy, am I going to enjoy the drive in this. Jumping into the driver's seat, you can actually feel a big difference in this car. I feel like these seats may have come out of some sort of luxury car. They are really well bolstered. Unusual for a Toyota product, but very comfortable as well and nicely designed. Driver's seat gets an 8-way power adjustable seat. On the passenger side, it's manual 4-way adjustable. There are heated seats in the front of this XSE version. It's a 2-stage, high and low, just above the gear shifter. Let's talk about the interior quality as well. Nice sunroof, nicely finished interior, soft touch here on the dash, soft touch on the top, blue stitching, gray stitching down below. Nice, well designed. The technology in this has been upgraded as well for 2020. There is a lot to talk about in this vehicle. First of all, transmission. I actually have it in the manual mode where you put it in a drive and flip the shifter over one position, and now I can use the paddle shifters to drive this vehicle. I actually prefer that driving mode than using the regular CVT because the regular CVT is not quite as exciting. As far as safety and tech are concerned, the brand new Toyota Corolla now has rear disc brakes as standard on the car, which is a super safe upgrade. It also has the Intune 3.0 system, works well. Some people call it a little slow, but I think it's the best Intune that they've ever had. Upper trim levels get a JBL 800-watt speaker system and sound system. I think this is hitting out of its class. This is something you could expect on a much more expensive vehicle of a bigger size. And then the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 system, which has lane trace. It also can see pedestrians in low light and detect cyclists. So not only are you safe inside the vehicle, but the pedestrians and cyclists outside the vehicle have an increased safety level too. Noticing the drive's quite comfortable, positioning it in the road where I want it. Acceleration is quite good. Remember, it's just a 2-liter engine that outputs 169 horsepower, so it's not crazy on the power, but it's not underpowered either. So if anyone wants to tell you, hey, this vehicle is underpowered, they'd be incorrect in that. It does sound a little whiny. It's a 4-cylinder. You can expect the 4-cylinder sound, and steering is a little lighter than I'd like, but the car positions itself in the road perfectly. It's easy to drive, and with those safety sense systems, it also does that cool thing where the vehicle will warn you once you go over the line in the middle of the road, which when you have a camera in the car is quite easy to do. You do notice the rear disc brakes when coming to a stop. There's no lurching forward. You feel that as I came to a stop. The vehicle didn't actually lurch or brake, and I was coming to a stop from around 40 miles an hour to a stop. It's well balanced on the acceleration. If I need the power, it's there. I can pull away with the power, but again, does sound like a 4-cylinder engine. The drive is what I'd expect from Toyota. A lot of times I'm buying longevity in this vehicle. I'm buying the fact that Toyotas are going to start every time. The resale value is going to be absolutely great. Remember, the top 3 vehicles in the United States for resale value currently are Toyotas. So I know if I buy this Corolla, I'm going to be able to sell this Corolla for a higher price than many of the competitive cars. Simply, I think this is one of the best cars in its class. It's not a high performer. It's not a 0 to 60 mile an hour winner, but this car is solid. It's got a lot of up-to-date tech in it. It really does look the best vehicle in its class. And also it's a Toyota, which we know really means it's a solid buy. Starts around under $20,000. If you fully load it, you get the top trim levels with a lot of the extras. You can expect to pay somewhere around $28,000 for this vehicle. Fuel economy, the best you're going to get is around 40 miles a gallon. That's on the freeway out of the gasoline engine. If you look at the hybrid, you could be getting over 50, somewhere around 53 as your top fuel economy out of that. For a vehicle that they've sold 46 million of worldwide, this is clearly going to be a huge hit. Now, if you want to see more stuff that we've done, you can go to either of our websites, ourautoexpert.com or testmiles.com. We have radio and TV shows, and of course, we'll have a lot of social media presence about this cars and many other cars. So please go to either Facebook and see Our Auto Expert or Test Miles, Instagram, Our Auto Expert or Test Miles, or Twitter. You can find us on all of those platforms. Plus, we have a radio show podcast you can listen to at ourautoexpert.com.